Hey everyone, Brandon Bohndorfer, and today is going to be an exciting day. I'm not sure when you're going to be watching this, but we're gearing up for 2021. Today, guys, I'm going to debut some of the most recent changes that we made to the Key2Success planning system. Over the last 3 years, we've been looking at this planner and developing it to fit your needs. And over the last year, I've had an opportunity to talk to hundreds of you about what your needs are. This is really a community calendar system that you can use digitally, if it be on your Surface, your iPad, or a tablet device. Using devices like this in 2021 is really going to help move you forward. I developed this planner because for so long I was a strong follower of the Franklin Covey planning system, and even more recently the Passion Planner and the Full Focus Planner. And those devices and those planners really helped me move forward. They were instrumental in my success. But through it all, as the planners were not available digitally, I started to embrace the iPad and the Microsoft Surface and really felt that I wanted to go digital. So we developed an entirely new planning system that I think you are going to enjoy. From talking to you guys about the 2020 planner, a lot of you have told me a lot of things that you want to see in the next generation, and today we're going to debut some of those things, so stay with me. So thank you for staying with me. Guys, I'm going to tell you what's coming in 2021 right now. Over the last few weeks, we've had a lot of discussions about some of the key elements we wanted to put in the 2021 planner. For those that have been users of the 2020 planner, you know that we really took a serious look at developing your goals in a daily fashion. I'm a strong believer that if you develop 3 daily key goals and you focus on those, no matter if it's 9 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock at night or just into the wee hours of the evening, if you accomplish those 3 focus key groups, you will be successful, and that's what really indicates what success looks like for that day. So when we looked at expanding this year's planner, I wanted to expand on that topic of making your daily planning habits a part of a bigger picture. And what is that bigger picture? Well, that bigger picture is our goals for the year. It's the things that we want to accomplish. But so many users and so many people told me that as you guys are going through your daily lives, that there was interruptions that were taking place. I mean, look at this pandemic that we're in. Who has not been interrupted by this? And I wanted to really pause for a second and tell you that for me, that was a struggle. And it has been a struggle for the last few weeks until I really sat down and thought about, wait a minute, I need to reorganize my life to fit the situation that I am. We all have seasons and we all go through them. And I think when we look at big picture planning, we forget about these seasons and we forget about the importance of being able to manage and plan our time based on the world that's around us. So when we did this planner, I focused on just that. I think this pandemic is going to change the way we look at planning, the way we can accomplish our goals, because we did some key things. You are seeing right now a new item called the ideal week. And what is the ideal week? For so long, we've seen planners that showcase your habits. They showcase tracking your habits and trying to be successful through daily routines of those habits. And I am a firm believer in that. But the challenge is a habit alone, it doesn't make you successful. A habit integrated with a plan and a routine followed by constant goal measurements will make you a successful individual. So we incorporated all of that into the ideal week. And what's most important about the ideal week, it's a tool that you can use to really just reprioritize your weekly plans on a global level. So what do I mean by that? Let's dive into the weekly ideal planner page and take a look at that right now. So the ideal week, what we wanted to accomplish with this page, as I said, is we really wanted you to be able to try to find balance in your life, but also be able to develop solid habits that will propel you forward. So what we felt was really important is still having that area of what is your key focus. What are you trying to accomplish each and every week? Through that, we created a vision board. This is a space where you can really kind of outline what you believe your week should look like and indicate some of the key things that should be taking place each and every week. Maybe it is a commitment to time that you're spending with your family. Maybe it is projects that you want to dedicate time to. And maybe it's just time for you just to kind of stop, pause, and just basically better understand what's in front of you. The next important thing that you guys have seen in the 2020 planner is the 4 key areas of development. And we feel that it is very important to have those key areas indicated in your ideal week, because when we understand those development key areas and we put those into our ideal week, it gives us space to navigate and say, hey, where do I want to invest my time in this development area, and how am I going to do so each and every week through the ideal week planning system. Over the last year, a lot of you guys have been using this planner, and many of you have reached out to me and said, hey Brandon, I love these daily pages, but what is the morning routine all about? What is the pre-launch or the pre-flight check boxes that we find on the daily pages? Well, I'm finally going to tell you what that is. Those are basically the areas of your day that consist of habits and just mental progress. And through the ideal week is a spot on here now that you can really outline those tasks, those routines, and are really good spaces for you to kind of like get started and get in check for the day. Each of us have our own daily routines that we get through each and every morning and each and every evening, and this is a space where you're going to indicate those spots. The next thing that I want everyone to really recognize when you're trying to determine what is your ideal week is your investment in time. Yes, we all put a lot of time into sleep, but we also put time throughout our week into managing family time, managing work time, understanding our priorities when it comes to exercise and religion. And this is a space where you can really say, hey, how am I going to block off my time? If I'm going to be at work for 40 hours, how much time do I have left? Inside my work time, how much time do I have for development, project management, and just daily routines? And this is a space I felt was really important to add to the ideal week, because when you get into the ideal week planning session and start to piece all these things together, it really lets you know how much time you have for reaching your goals. And this is the part that I struggle with. And many people in the last few months, as we've been going through this pandemic, have told me the same thing, is they either found an abundance amount of time on their plate and they didn't know how to best utilize that, or they've been spending more time trying to get their daily work done because they've been having to work remotely or work outside the office and just didn't have the connectivity. So this next part is really going to be important to really maintaining a flush and even balance throughout your work process. As you can see here, it is a Monday through Sunday layout of the week, starting as early as 7 a.m. through 9 p.m. There's also a spot where it allows you to have just kind of open space. Maybe you have an all-day event that takes place every Wednesday, for example, and you just want to notate that there. But what this grid does, in a linear path of each day, you can outline basically where you're going to invest your time. And doing so will allow you to determine, hey, from this period to this period each week, I'm going to work on my key development goals. I'm going to have time in the office. I'm going to make time for family. I'm going to look at time for working out. This spot is going to allow you, as you fill it out, better determine your habits, when you have time for development, and where you might put that time in. It also might give you a reality check and say, hey, my goals are too big for the season in front of me. And I'll give you an example of that. I had a business that is a seasonal business, and in the spring of the year, they really changed their course of their action. They bring on 25 to 30 employees, and the management staff there is all about the business, hands on deck. So this isn't the time for them to be talking about policies and procedures. That stuff all needs to be done in the off season. So their ideal week is changing each and every season to adapt to the needs of the business. This planner page is going to be ideal for them because it's going to see, as a management team, what they should be doing in the peak of their business versus in the peak of their opportunity. See, what we don't realize sometimes is when we have a down economic turn or we have a relaxation in our business, it's really an opportunity to step in and help refine some of those processes. And this ideal week page is all about that. So let's see what else is next in the 2021 planner. So the next big change in 2021 is the quarterly reviews. This is a 2-page spread that is going to change the way you go about each and every quarter. Talking to an individual over the last few weeks, we really talked about what it means to be successful in a 3-month period. When we look at our planning and we look at our goals and our objectives, we have some big ideas and some big dreams out there. And that's what the Key2Success Planner is all about. It's about taking those big dreams and those big ideas and getting them down into your daily efforts that you're doing through the daily planning system. However, the big things happen each and every quarter. That is where you're going to feel the most momentum. So if we're working on a project, developing a new product or service, that's going to happen in a little bit larger frame of time. We determined through this year's planner in 2021 that we are going to talk about what it means to not only do block scheduling, but to look at scheduling and planning over 12-week periods. If you've got a goal or an ambition or a vision, how do you break that down into 12-week sessions where you can really move that goal forward and get to the finish line sometime in the near future? So what we did with the quarterly review page is we came up with this 4-page spread that allows you to simply look at your first area and say, what does success look like for me in this quarter? What is my motivation for these goals or these ideas? And then we broke it down into what I call 3 key elements to success: focus, forward, and routine. Now, for some projects, this can happen in a matter of the same day. For some projects, each category or container takes multiple weeks, and for some it is a month to put it through. But the idea with focusing, forward, and routine is in the first container you focus on the goal. You make sure you have all the processes, all the timelines in place of what it is that you need to achieve. You understand the milestones that are in front of you and some of the action steps that have to be accomplished. Forward is getting the work done, actually moving through those elements and creating the processes and things that you need to be successful. And the last element in container is routine. To be great at something is to develop a solid habit and do it over and over so you master it, perfect it, and produce higher results. For a lot of people, I want you to look at these 3 containers and look at each individual project, goal, vision statement, whatever it may be, and say, hey, how do I focus on the macros of this? How do I move this forward? And how do you develop routine to see yourself reach the higher level of success that you deserve? So the next thing that we put in this piece is some key things that I feel that I use every day. Who are my influencers? What are my connections? What are my absolutes? What things do I have to get done to be successful in this quarter? And what is my next level? See, there's always this level of objectives. We want to hit this benchmark. But what does it mean if we hit this benchmark and we exceed it? That's what those next level goals are. It's also a spot for you to simply kind of look ahead what might come in the next quarter and how you might get ahead in that quarter if you have great success in this one. The next spot that I'm really excited for is the 12-week timeline. This is an area where you outline your objectives and you plan them out. You plan out, when is my area of focus? When is my area moving forward? And how will I make this routine? And a lot of times you're going to see throughout some of the examples that we're going to show you in future videos, this is a space where you can really build out that timeline of each major project or task that might be a part of a bigger goal. And for a lot of people, you have multiple goals taking place in a single quarter, so there's plenty of space for you to do that. And then the next key area is the key spaces. Key spaces are a lot of different things, but for us, it is where we look at our personal growth, our reach, and our development as an individual. In each and every quarter, you should have a handful of those key areas that you're investing your time in and the things that you're going to make happen a part of that key annual planning page experience. And the last spot on this page is simply a note section. So think of this page as the first page in a 2-page spread to really help you kind of like figure out what is your plans and goals for the next 12 weeks or for that quarter. The next page that we add in this spread is really a spot that we will see you develop throughout the quarter, as well as a section where you will kind of look at reflection and say, how well did I did? And we want this page to really help you to really macro down where you can find improvements, where you can find places where you need to improve efficiencies in your planning process. So this first page is really just a reflection progress page, a place where you can track your progress, you can whiteboard different notes and ideas, something that you're going to carry with you from quarter to quarter. And it's probably those key milestones that have taken place that you want to remember if you're reflecting a year or two down the road and saying, hey, in quarter 1 of 2021, what was some of the major milestones that we achieved as an organization? You're going to nail that right here, and that's going to help you in the future know what it was. The right side of the section looks a lot like the weekly review pages that you guys really have told me that you really love. Each and every week when we talk about our accomplishments and we understand the business in front of us that isn't finished, and we understand where we can improve mentally and physically, as well as we can determine some of the challenges that we face, when we can look at that as a week-by-week means and make small turns on the dial to improving that, we find that as individuals we really rise up. Well, as teams, as individuals that are building on bigger ideas and progress, we want to look at this at a lot higher level. So we felt that it was important to put this into the quarterly review, because you might find bigger challenges in yourselves that you can't correct from one week to the next, but it's something you're going to aim to correct from this quarter to next quarter. And as unfortunate as it is, there are certain times in our life where we have to accept that we need to close the door on something. If you constantly move forward on the same note but you don't get traction, it's time to move forward to a space to indicate some of those closed doors. And the reason why we indicate what those closed doors are is because a lot of times when I talk to individuals, they're closing a door not because they lost personal motivation or they couldn't accomplish it, but there was something else in the way. So a personal experience for me in this category is this planner in general. There was a point when the technology wasn't there for me to move this planner forward, so I had to close the door on it. So sometimes when we look at closed doors, it's obstacles that are outside of our control, or just individuals or different things in the ecosystem that will not allow us to move this goal. It doesn't mean you bury it. Maybe just put it on the shelf for a period of time. And the last section in this 2-page spread is the progress report. It's so important to give yourself a progress report on how well you made traction on this quarter or the next quarter. Through doing that, you are going to find yourselves moving forward each and every quarter. But why 12 weeks? Why 12 weeks? Well, we wanted to do that because there's 13 weeks in every quarter, and we felt it was really important for you to run at a solid pace and move through your goals as best you could in a 12-week period, and then give yourself a week to just check out and reestablish yourself and determine what you want to do before you start the next quarter. So we believe every quarter you put 12 weeks into your goals and 1 week really outlining what that goal or next quarter should look like. So those are the first two things that we did. The ideal week and the quarterly reviews. Are you guys excited with me? These are going to be pages, as simple as they are, that are going to change the way you use this planning system. They're going to develop the planning system to a level that we haven't seen before, because not only are we going to be looking at these individual daily goals now, but we're going to see how we can truly make success on a quarterly basis through our annual planning keys. The best part is ahead, so stay tuned. The page that you're looking at now is called the Team Week page. And I struggle with naming this page for a number of reasons, but I'm going to get into the page and maybe you can help me determine what we might call this page in the future. When we designed this page, it really came from a lot of feedback from individuals that are in our community. You guys have told me over the last year that, hey, my husband uses this planner, I use this planner. Can we share and collaborate this planner? Yes. Throughout OneNote and many of the other notation apps that are out there, you can share your notebooks with each other, but we want a central location that we could have scheduling available across the grid. And we did that with this page. So what this allows you to do, and this is going to be available in the template section of the planner, and you can copy this as many times. So if you've got 8 people in your family, you've been busy, but you got a spot where you can do that. I know a buddy of mine that's got 7 kids, and he's all over the place. So this page is really going to help him out. But we also can use this in our business. Maybe you have a department and you want to have your team utilize this. Maybe you want to utilize this to plan a project. Maybe you want to utilize this in an organization. We have a landscaping business that utilizes this, and what they're doing with it is really incredible. They are allowed to go through, put in the different tasks that they have in front of them, and plan those out linearly each and every week and use it as a scheduling board. But for parents and husbands and wives, this is going to be huge. You see right here that I have the ability, wait a minute. You guys see that? There's text there. All year, you guys have been asking me about putting text in the planner, and I've been telling you, no, this planner's been meant for handwritten notes because handwriting is so much better. And so many of you said, I'm not going to use the planner. Some of you said, you know what, I have my iPad. I'm religious about using the stylus when I can, but sometimes at my desktop, I need to write a quick note. I took that and I said, hey, we're going to make this available so that you can use text. Yes, when you go in OneNote right now, you can type in the planner. It's going to align with the spaces. It's going to snap to the grid. So if you have a receptionist or a secretary that helps add stuff to your planner and she doesn't have an iPad or a Surface or some type of tablet device with a pen, she can now sync up to your notebook and she can type in notes, she can still highlight, and she can still make the framework that's needed. It's awesome. It's incredible. I'm still going to use this pen every single day. So what this allows you to do is you can simply come in here and you can still do the selection. You can slide that around. This is huge, especially if you're in a business that maybe results or is privy to what happens in weather. Well, here what you can do is say, well, I got rained out on Monday, so I'm going to pull this into Tuesday. Well, maybe what happens with Bentley, Bentley's my son, here's his school calendar. Well, I find out or in a week that he's going to have a webinar. If you guys are doing virtual learning, you might see that this is coming up a lot right now. I can come in, I can write this in real time, I can put this in there. This page now allows me to see what my son, my daughter, my wife, myself are doing, and allows us to share activities. Now, my planner pages in real life are a lot more complicated than this, and I imagine yours are as well. So as you fill this out, you're really going to see a lot of opportunity. There's also a spot down the side where you can write in all-day events. So we gave you a lot of flexibility with this page to really make it your own. It doesn't matter if it's going to be for personal use, for work, or collaboration. This is a page in the planner that I'm going to see a lot of people using, and a lot of you are going to be thankful for it. The next thing that really didn't take a lot of energy, but was one that came highly requested, was us doing more with the note pages. We took the note pages and we added the ability for you guys to type in them, and it aligns perfectly. This is great for those that have hard keyboard habits, and here's why we did this. I'm going to get up and show you something that's just beautiful. So over the last year, a lot of you guys have reached out to me and said, hey Brandon, I want to type in this planner. And for so long I'm like, no, I don't believe that a planning tool should be able to type in it. But after a lot of thought processing and thinking about how you guys, the community, uses this planner, you have this planner shared with lots of individuals, in some cases secretaries or receptionists and different people that are contributing to this planner, and being able to type on it is huge. But I didn't take it seriously until a few weeks ago when this guy was announced. This here is the new 2020 Apple Generation 2 Magic Keyboard, and it is a powerhouse. And I'm going to show you guys something really cool about this planner on this new keyboard. And we're going to do a video that's going to talk just about this. But now with my planner, a lot of you are saying that this keyboard will take the iPad, this device here, and really make it a mobile computer. I can go in here now, and as you guys know, for long periods of time, you guys could definitely go through here and you could write anything you wanted. But now with the planning system, you can go in here, you can type on the line and say, the new keyboard by Apple. And then I can turn down a couple lines and say, this is a lot of greatness. So we are now able to use the note pages that we've designed to literally snap to the grid so that you can type them. I can slide over here real quick. I can do the same thing. New typing area. If you're a powerhouse user and you are going to get this keyboard, you're going to want the benefit of having this. And I'm going to show you one cool trick that's really going to be excited. I can take this typing tool, turn it like this, and now I have an elevated keyboard. One thing I love about my Surface is that I'm able to have a slant and write on the planner at an elevated angle. With this keyboard, kind of looks foolish. Might want to put a decal on the backside. Matter of fact, maybe we should get some decals to put on the backside. This is Key2Success planner for those that, if you're in a coffee shop, are looking and see the front of this. But this is an absolutely amazing tool. We're going to cover everything about this keyboard, this planning system, and how it's really going to propel you forward in the future. A couple of the things we did in the notes section that you're going to see is we now have a blank page. Now we've always had this in the past, but we didn't talk a lot about it. This page here is designed for you to kind of like free form any storyboarding or outline you want to do. The last section is this grid, these dots. We had a user connect with me that's in NASA that does work, not sure exactly where they do work in NASA, but they are using this grid to really help them engineer their way through their daily planning. And we want to provide this grid for you. It's a great space where you kind of don't necessarily want lines, but you don't want that blank space. Really, it's a great place in the middle for you to find. So those are a couple of the exciting things, and like I said, tune in for another video on that. So that's a lot of different ideas that have gone into the note planner. We're going to cover that in the next video shortly to talk about this keyboard, this planner, and moving yourself forward. So if you guys have not already, hit the subscribe button and follow our page. There's a great opportunity to do so. Hit the bell, hit the notification, and we are going to commit, as we have done, as you guys have seen the reviews, we are really dedicated to the community. And you guys are really dedicated to this planner. Another idea that came out of the community over the last few months was this add a view for the month. I struggle with add a views for a month. You see a month on a grid and there's all these white boxes. For me, I'm someone that likes to get into the details. I don't want to be in the weeds, I want to be in the details. And for me, being in the details is being able to outline exactly what I'm doing in the month by time. And as you can see from this new layout right here, is what we did is we took the monthly spread, we laid it out so the days of the week go down the side and the times go across the page. This allows you to do some really awesome things. So I can come in here and I can go ahead and I can select a spot. Maybe it is going to be April 13th. I can come in here and say, hey, from April 13th, from basically 4 o'clock, or in this case 3:30, to about 7:30, I'm going to have an intense workout. And I can write that right here, and I can put that in my planner as a review. And this is really awesome because I think as we look at our ability to make plans in the upcoming months, this will allow us to look at this page and see where's my opportunities for me to take on projects and really focus on my goals. So guys, that is the highlight on the 2021 planner. We went through this really fast. I know it's a longer video, but I encourage you guys to hit the subscribe button, follow our page. We are going to break down each one of these pages and how you can best utilize them as you get ready for 2021. And if you guys haven't taken advantage, we still have our pre-launch promotion that's taking place. You can do that through now through June. And if it's after June, guys, and you didn't get a chance to be a part of that pre-launch, know that in November of 2020, we will start the pre-launch cycle for the 2022 calendar. And I can already tell you this, 2022 is going to be the master planning session. That planner is going to be about 3 and 5 year goal development. We've already started working on all the information for that plan, and it might seem like, Brandon, you're talking about 2022, but we're hoping that we can have that 2022 planner available for you guys by the 1st of 2021. And we feel that that's so important if we're going to put together a master planning tool that covers 3 to 5 year goal planning, that we're able to do it and give you enough time to really start to strategize and think forward as we get ready for the years and the goals that are ahead of us. Guys, I'm Brandon Boendorfer, founder and creator of the Key2Success planning system, and join me as we move forward. I'll see you guys in the next video.